Hey folks, welcome back. We got us a 2017 GMC Sierra in the shop here with a engine miss. This is the, I believe it's the L5P generation, the latest one that just basically started in 2017. I'm not really a Duramax guy. Now when I say that, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. It's just I'm not as knowledgeable on them as I am, like, say, the Power Strokes. So don't hate on me for that. Please, 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 please. All right. Anyways, we've pulled some codes. This thing went into basically a D-rate, reduced power mode, kind of basically shuts that injector off and says, hey, it's not working. I went through and pulled it off, checked the wiring out, because there were some instances in the previous generation, which I think is the hold on, I think it's the it's from whatever 2011 to 2016. Let me look it up. It was LGH 2011 to 2016. Sometimes the connector that connected right on the electrical connector that connected right on the injector, you'd pull that off of there and you'd look and you'd see that the pins weren't even, they basically come out or they've gotten too big and it's not making a good connection. We've checked that on this. Don't have no of those issues. This pickup has right at 100,000 miles, and we're getting we'll get a different camera view and show you the codes we were getting out of it, and then we'll show you the the procedure of changing the injector, and we're going to attempt to program it to set the flow rate for the ECM to know what the flow rate of the injector is that you just put in. So, all right, let's get to it. Okay, so these are the codes that we pulled out of it. That P0204, the injector control circuit. That's what led me to believe to check the wiring first, and didn't find any issues there. And then obviously this does turn on the check engine light, so that's your P0300 because it is detecting a misfire. And this thing does run pretty rough. When you clear the code, it runs pretty rough, runs for a while, and then basically it actually starts running just a smidge better, because it basically kind of like shuts that injector off. It kind of just says, hey, we ain't working correctly, and we're going to shut it off and derate you to probably 55, I think it was. And that way you get it fixed, because bad injectors and missing engines, all that kind of stuff, that's going to really hurt your emissions stuff downstream in here. So we've got to get that fixed. Now lucky for us, or me, or whoever, this is an easier injector. The one we're working on is because it's the P0204, which is your number 4 injector. The way Duramax has these labeled is here on the left side of the engine you've got 2, 4, 6, and 8, and then over here you've got 1, 3, 5, 7. So we don't have a whole lot to take off. We're going to get this tube out of the way. We're going to have to undo those fuel lines there, and then this cover right here, these kind of just pull off here, and then there's a couple of I think there's 10mm bolts right down in there, but we'll get a better view of that later. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just take this tube. This tube will kind of move around a little bit. I haven't decided if I'm probably just going to pull the thing off from down there too, just to get it completely out of the way. I'm going to need like a tool. I'll show you what would work to get those off, kind of similar to changing a fuel filter on an older Ford. But if you are working with the other injectors, you got just a little bit more to do. You got to take this EGR and all that stuff off of here to even get to it. So it's just a matter of if you're doing that, you've got your hoses here, you got to disconnect, and these connectors here, and you got these bolts, and you got more bolts. Just gonna have to figure out what bolts are what. I have not had one of these removed. Like I said, I don't have as much experience with these, namely because I just haven't seen too many of them in my shop yet. And so we're gonna get going on this and get all this pulled apart so we can get access to those injectors. Oh, please forgive me, I screwed up. The LGH is the generation for the vans, and the LML, same years from 2011 to 2016, but LML was the previous generation, and those are the ones I have not worked on any of the ones in the vans. I really hope I don't have to, because you can imagine everything being crammed into one of these pickups. I can only imagine what they're like on the vans. Whew. I don't know. Anyways, I apologize, but LML, that's the one that I have had. One, maybe it might have been two of them that actually had what you would think would be injector problems, but they're actually the pigtail, and you can get those from the Chevy dealership, probably around $60, give or take. There's probably other places you can get it too, but that's what I ultimately did. I think the first one I changed out an injector and still had the same problem, and then that's when I had to go back and do that and replace the pigtail. Then the next LML I had, and I don't remember what years these were, somewhere between 2011 and 2016. The next one I had, I checked that first, and it turns out that was what it was. So I was hoping that was going to be what was on this one, but it turns out the pigtail looked just perfect. Everything looked great. So we're just going to get the injector put in and get it programmed correctly and go from there. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and try to work around this, because there's that hose right, it's right down in there, trying to, the other part of it where it does a bend or whatever, but it's got on both sides, it's got this crap. I think this is ridiculous. What a bunch of idiots. So you can see that this is just a crimped on band. There's no clamp like this. So you can imagine when it comes time to replace this, kind of going to be a pain in the ass. Now they do have a clamp all the way down at the end of the intercooler, way down there, which I could get with a pretty long extension or whatever. But right now we're just going to try to, we got this thing, it's not putting a lot of tension on it. It's just hooked right in there. And just kind of holding this out of the way, because this is the area we're accessing. So the next thing we need to do is get these fuel lines off. We go ahead and pull these. Let's come in here with something like a screwdriver or something. Oop, try not to lose it like I did. It just fell into the engine valley right here. But that's what we're doing. It's just kind of hooks in and clips down. So you just want to start on, don't be prying on this end. You're not going to do much but other than bend this thing around. But that one, there we go. That one I just went ahead and pulled, got it off. I'll show you the tool we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to try these right here. We've got a 3/8 for the small 1.5. I think that's going to be the sizes that'll work. So we'll start with and these you can get anywhere, auto parts store, to see how they kind of, this is the part right here that's going to go inside of there. And I'll see if I can, when we get this apart, if I can show you this fuel line and what it looks like. Anyways, but what you're going to do is wrap this around here. These might not work because this might be too thick. This is too close to the top of this deal right here. So let's grab a different one. Okay, so what you kind of do is you get this around. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of see it, but you get this around like this and you go inside of there and you push the fuel line forward, and then you slide this in. And yeah, that's a hard time. Oh, and she comes out. And I'll show you the inside of that, what we're doing. Let's see if I can get the right size for this one. That's not going to do it. Like that. There we go. So what you're doing is you're taking that deal and you're you're pressing these little spring things in, and those latch onto that right there. So that's what we're doing when we're putting the tool in there, because the tool oops, that one's too big. I've got this tool right here that does a lot of different sizes. But you see this goes in like that, and right now I can feel that spring tension. Like right there, see how it stops and it pushes the hose? Right there, that's what you're doing. You kind of want to push this part forward, get it to not have any tension on this right here, shove this in, and then pull back on it and wiggle at the same time. So that's what we're going to do there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of just bend these out of the way a little bit. So we've got a 10 millimeter nut right here. We got another 10 millimeter nut right here. I think that's looking like all of them. These just kind of pull off, and we're going to get that deal off of there. Move this. Oh, I should have had this pause while I was trying to put my camera in position. Sorry about that. Thanks for getting these loosened up here. It feels like the bolts, or this, yeah, it's going to stay in, and then I popped these out already, and then we can pull this thing, pull it out away from the fuel lines, and then just kind of, oh man. Wish I had somebody to film. Just kind of finagle this out of here. Set it to the side, and there's your injectors right here. So here's injector number 2. There's injector number 4, the one that we're after, and 6 and 8. So what we need to do first thing is we don't want to bend these things. So what we're going to do is get this this is the return fuel lines, and they're attached daisy chain all the way across there, and but you got to remember that there's a copper washer on both sides of that nut right there. Let me get this camera off of here and take you guys for a ride. Okay, see that deal there? So there's your electrical connector right here, and then there's the return line fuel, and right there, and then we got the big, I think it's a 17 millimeter. We got that to take loose, and I'm gonna go ahead and take it loose right here too. And they say, that these actually should be replaced, but I've never had a problem with any of the others with these things leaking. I haven't, but anyways, we'll take that loose, and then you just follow this around, and we'll take that loose. That way, going back on, you can wiggle this around and make sure you don't get it cross-threaded. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and loosen all of these. Don't lose your washers, and we're probably gonna might leave that one loose over there, and maybe this can swing around a little. I don't know exactly which, but we'll figure that out. So okay, we'll just loosen all. We loosened all of them there, and we'll just bring that up here and just let it lay right there. Now to do the electrical connector, you want to slide this red plastic thing back. I'm gonna need a screwdriver to do it. Okay, like that. And then all you're doing is pressing on that blue tab. Press down on it. Let's switch hands here. Just press down on the blue tab and pull her out. And this is the part, you know, we checked earlier there, that out of the way, and we're gonna grab a 17 millimeter wrench. We're gonna loosen this up. Okay, we got this fuel line off, and see, this is the reason why I loosen. All I do is just loosen this so this can move all around, get it out of your way and everything. So right underneath of here, you kind of just move this deal. You can see the head of the bolt just barely right there, 10 millimeter bolt. That's going to be your hold down, so you get that bolt out of there. Pull that bolt off. The part that fell out was the hold down, which is right here, and this is the way it goes. But I'm also going to show you an old Indian trick to get that out, or the injector, I mean. Alright, a friend of mine told me about this trick. I've never done it before yet, but I told you this is how this went in there. What you're going to do is you're going to flip this over, and you're going to stick it in there, and it does just fit right in there. Normally, it would be... Oh, dang. Camera, come on, man. Sorry about that. So, normally, like I said, it would be in there like that. You flip it over and stick it right back in the same place. And then we're going to take the handle of this hammer right here and get my light kind of out of the way, and we're just going to pop down on it like that, and I popped it loose. Hopefully that all went on camera. So good there. Pull this back out. And there's your injector. So on the first time when you pull one of these out, make sure your O-ring is there. I mean, usually they always come out just like this, but sometimes these O-rings get brittle and, you know, they might rip, and it might be just sitting in the hole right there. These always usually come off with it, but you want to make sure that it is. This copper washer here, you're going to make sure that comes out. It's not sitting in the bottom there, because your new one's going to come with a new one. And so that's what she looks like. Yeah, this is our new one here. This is what I got from the GMC dealer. I think it's, I don't remember. I think they retail around 360, 380. I don't know what they're, you know, they don't give them away. The first thing you want to do when you get these out is you want to either like photograph or write down all these numbers and stuff, because that's what you're going to need for programming the flow rate. Alright, yeah, these are all the numbers and stuff like that. Mostly just that DXD number, I think, on the top there is what we need. Yeah, anyways, we got, that's just the cover will come off, this blue will come off, and that yellow will come off there when you get it. You know, I like to get them all in there. Obviously you got to take that off first to get that in there, but I leave these on until I get it all mounted and locked into place. Put a little Vaseline around this seal right here, or some kind of a oil lubricant, so that it doesn't roll out on you. You don't want it to be, you know, get stuck and roll out of place. Not a good thing. So, you know, we'll get this thing put back down in there. All right, got a little better camera view. I wish I'd have gotten that before when we were there. So Now before this goes in, we're gonna have to clean that hole out. Okay, nice and shiny. We'll slide the new injector in very carefully, double checking to make sure you got your copper washer there. We lubed up the O-ring right here, this orange O-ring, and we'll just slide it in place here. Kind of see how it moved this fuel line out of the way, and gonna match it with the others, and then you just kind of push down, and you hear that clicking. I hope you heard that click sound. That's the we just went ahead and just, all I was doing was just pushing down on the base right here. Got that deal like that, so we can go ahead and remove this rubber deal. Oh, wait a minute. We gotta get our hold down in there first. Jeez. We'll be forgetting that. Okay, so remember, it goes in like this. This is the way we put it in before, and we popped on that deal like that. I'll have to look at that footage. Hopefully that came out like it's supposed to. You just kind of slide that in there. Make sure it gets matched up with the bolt hole, and right now I'm getting hung up on this wire loom that it needs to go underneath of. When it seems all confusing right now, really when you get into this, it's not at all. I don't know, I guess I could say, I've worked on lots of 6-7 power strokes and the Cummins and whatnot. I've not done an injector on this new of like I said, I've done a couple of LMLs from 2011 to 2016, those years. And anyways, so what I'm fighting now is I got to get this wire loom underneath it here, and then we just got to get this thing in position to get this bolt started and get that in there. Alright, so got that in there. Now we'll pull this blue cover off of here and get this fuel line started on here. This is why I like to have it loose, is to make sure that you're got this part on and you're not going to be cross threading it, because that'll ruin your day. Get these tightened up here with a 17 mil wrench. And you can't really torque these. These head bolts here are torqued at I thought it was like 26 foot-pounds or something. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and I'll edit that. I'll put a line in here or whatever to remember what I did. Phone rings and all that kind of stuff, and I get distracted. And they need to be snug, but it's not like you got to put on 80 gorilla pounds onto it. There's some big apes in this world that can really tighten some crap down that I've tried to take apart before. One is oil filters, fuel filters, spin-on ones. Some people think you got to crank them things on 160 freaking gorilla pounds. What's a gorilla pound? I don't know. A lot. What's the torque spec on it? What torque do you torque this down? All of them. If you ever watched Zip Ties and Bias Plies, check out that channel. That's a great one. Yeah, alright, so we'll snap this in place, and then slide this red deal forward till it clicks, and we'll go ahead and pull off this plug here for the return line, and then go around and make sure the rest of these are wiped clean. I probably should have put something over them, but it's not really that messy working underneath it here. Now, most of my copper washers, they stayed on here. That's what I just wanted to make sure of. You just want to, and the other one stayed on the nut, or the bolt. Get that started in there. You just want to really go slow and make sure that you don't lose them anywhere. I just figured since they were stuck on there, they could just stay like that, and it seemed to work just fine. Just one on each side, similar to a banjo fitting, I guess, that's what they used to call them. And get these tightened up. I don't know the torque spec on these, but just snug will do. These aren't high pressure. Well, not high like the fuel rail anyways, but that's kind of cool. Let's try from that. It's little things that make you just kind of smile and chuckle throughout the day. Too loose for my ratchet to not work there. Sorry, that one's out of focus, but just one more, you know. See if we can move the camera in right there. This is the hose that's attached to it. You can see that it's just a regular fuel hose with one of those spring clamps on there, so you know it ain't high pressure. It might have a little bit of pressure because it's obviously got to go somewhere, but okay, now we got this. Yeah, see how these bolts just stayed in place there, and these rubber deals, where are we at? Oh, there we are, right there. They snap onto these nubs right here. They just kind of step on there, so you just kind of gotta finagle this in here. It's not too bad, but you do want to watch that those bolts don't hit any of the wires or anything like that. And just kind of get this started in place. I'll just pause while I'm fighting with it. And you'll know it when you get these in here, because they kind of just, see that? I hope you can hear that. And we'll get these bolts started down here. Okay, we got the bolts tightened up down there. Now we'll get our fuel lines put back in place. Can't mix them up because they're two different sizes. All you do is shove them till they click, like so. Like that. And then we'll put our keepers back on. One is a little smaller than the other just because it needs to be able to clip on, but you can't really mix that up because you'll never get, this one won't stay, that one won't fit around it, so it's like that. And then we're going to get our tube here, put it back up in place. I had bumped this. I had bumped it up here like this, you know. Just put that back down. So we've got the injector replaced. Now we got to get to programming it. Okay, so we're going in here. First thing I'm going to do is just go in here and see the same codes that we had before, 204 and the 300. And we'll back out of this and we'll clear the fault codes, and we'll clear them. And that'll turn the check engine light off on the dash. Not now, obviously, because it's not running, but fault completed. Okay, so we're going there and program this. We're going to go to, and this is a Launch X431 scan tool. It's kind of my go-to. I use it. It's been working for everything I've tried it on. Doesn't work as well on Dodge, but you can get by. Anyways, special functions. The only other GM I've had this one connected to was I regened a 2015 stationary regen. So anyways, we're going to go here to injector flow rate programming. And I had mentioned before, I told you that it was like, thought, you know, these numbers right here, that's your injector flow rate. Because what we'll do is we'll look at this injector and we'll show you. So we got, I don't want to focus, injector flow identifier there on number 4. So see this F311. So you got, it's missing the F3, but there's 1128409909 FC -200 FD. It's hard to go back and forth. FD 03F A0131. You can see that's the injector because this is the old one. It's programmed in there. We've got, I wrote down my flow rate numbers there for this new one here. So what we want to do on this particular scanner is I'm going to select this. Now it's going to have me enter a value, and it says length 28 characters. So we're going to do caps lock F, A for Adam, 210 A for Adam, 0. I'll get all these put in there. Okay, so I got all those entered in. It says 28 characters. This is actually 26 characters. So we're just gonna 1, 2, add 2 more zeros, and then we hit OK. We want to confirm the value. So yeah, apparently my scanner just won't do it. It's just saying it's not supported or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take it over to a buddy of mine who's got a couple of different other brands, and see if we can get it done. If not, they can go to the Chevy dealership. You should be able to do it with a, you know, an Autel. That's one I need to get. I need to get some other brands, you know, because that Launch doesn't work the greatest on Dodge pickups. Works really good on Fords. Haven't had too many GMs with it, but apparently, obviously, I can regen I did a 2015 stationary regen with it, worked just fine. But anyways, not a huge deal, but pickup runs real good. We were able to clear the codes, and they didn't come back, and it runs great. Isn't ND rate anymore. Go up to 80 miles an hour, and it runs good. So you can get by with it for just a little bit. I mean, it should be done because it's the right thing to do. But we'll get that, but I'd love to show the rest of it. But anyways, that's what we got done with changing that injector, and that's the most modern Duramax out there yet, that any of us will probably see for a while. So because all the newer ones are under warranty. So anyways, that's all I know about it, and thanks for watching.